Why does the moon change shape? ELI5. The moon doesn't actually change shape, it's always a big round ball. What changes is how much of it we can see lit up by the sun, and that depends on where the moon is in its orbit around Earth. This is what creates the phases of the moon, like a crescent, half moon, or full moon. Let's break it down. The moon reflects sunlight. The moon doesn't produce its own light. What we see is sunlight reflecting off its surface. Depending on how the moon, Earth, and sun are lined up, we see different amounts of that reflected sunlight, which creates the illusion that the moon is changing shape. The phases of the moon. Here's how the moon's phases work as it orbits Earth, a process that takes about 29.5 days. One new moon. At the start of the cycle, the moon is between the Earth and the sun. The side of the moon that's lit up is facing away from us, so we don't see any of it. It looks invisible in the sky. 2. Waxing crescent. As the moon moves a little in its orbit, we start to see a sliver of the lit up side. This is called a crescent. Waxing means it's growing. 3. First quarter half moon. When the moon is about a quarter of the way through its orbit, half of the side facing us is lit up, so it looks like a half circle. 4. Waxing gibbous. As the moon continues to orbit, more of the lit up side becomes visible. A gibbous moon looks bigger than a half moon, but isn't full yet. 5. Full moon. When the Earth is between the moon and the sun, we see the entire sunlit side of the moon. It looks like a bright, glowing circle. 6. Waning gibbous. After the full moon, the lit-up side starts to shrink again. Waning means it's getting smaller. 7. Last quarter, half moon. Now, half of the moon is lit up again, but it's on the opposite side compared to the first quarter. 8. Waning crescent. As the moon approaches the end of its orbit, we see just a thin crescent of light. Why does this happen? It's all about the moon's position in relation to the Earth and the sun. The sun always lights up half of the moon, but as the moon moves around Earth, we see different parts of the lit up half. When the moon is behind Earth relative to the sun, we see the full lit up side, full moon. When the moon is in front of Earth relative to the sun, the lit up side is hidden from us, new moon. In between, we see parts of the lit-up side, creating the crescent, half, and gibbous phases. Fun fact, why does the moon always show the same side? The same side of the moon always faces Earth because the moon is in something called synchronous rotation. This means it rotates on its axis at the same speed that it orbits Earth. So while the phases change, the side of the moon we see stays the same. Next time you look up at the moon, you'll know its changing shape is just a cool trick of light and shadow as it moves through its orbit.